So today we get more federal propaganda from government news outlet CNN. The police say in this story, of course, these are always the only source, police, making up things, portraying them to the public as real. They're telling us that 13 people were held captive in a California home. And the reason that they were able to get away with this for so long is because the parents were registered homeschool teachers. This guy here was the principal, supposedly, of a place called Sandcastle Day School. And, of course, the federal government doesn't want you homeschooling your children. They want your kids going through their educational system so they can teach them, not just what they want them to know, but also what they don't want them to know. And one of those things they don't want you to know is about the language of gematria, a very simple practice of coding numbers into words. And the only reason most people don't think this is crazy, that there's meaning behind this, is because they haven't taken the time to study it. And we're going to talk about these four ciphers mainly: English ordinal, reverse ordinal, where Z is 1 and A is 26. And then there's the reduction methods, where we take each number and reduce it to a single digit, as seen in these charts here. Now, if you follow my work, I talk frequently about the fact that the numbers 13 and 33 are the primary hoax codes. And I say this due in large part to the fact that capital G, which sits inside the middle of the Freemasonry emblem, has a gematria of 13 and 33 using the two methods that take capital letters into account. You see the capital G at 33 there, and the capital G at 13 here. So today was a significant date for Freemasonry. I'll link to the video I uploaded earlier today about the death of Dolores O'Riordan and how that's related. Well, it also works for hoax news events in addition to sacrifices. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, using the alphabetic order and the reverse alphabetic order, equals 325 and 350, respectively. Today marks 325 weeks until the Great American Total Solar Eclipse of 2024. Today also leaves 350 days on the calendar. Today's January 15th. Now, the word Mason begins with the 13th letter of the alphabet, M. I mentioned the G has 13 gematria. Of course, the moon occasionally has 13 phases in a solar year. Now, the 13th prime number is 41. And look at what happens when you add up the name gematria of the two parents who are charged with a crime in this story. David Allen Turpin and Louise Anna Turpin sums to 410 English ordinal, again relating directly back to the number 13. And this is just using the alphabetic order. Now, if you reduce the alphabetic order to single digit, looking at full reduction, their names sum to 158 when put together. The word Freemasonry in the reverse alphabetic order equals 158. But there's more to this. These two names put together, once again, 211 reverse full reduction. 211 is the 47th prime number. 47 is the number of foundation and framework, a number that the government is very fond of. You see 47 degrees on the Freemason compass, 47 degrees between the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, very significant number. Now, on this blog, I talk about Anita Sideris, literally in like every other post, and it's just so significant. The gematria of it as well, of 393 using the Jewish method. Well, these parents' names in Jewish ordinal sums to 393. Not only that, but if you look at the full Jewish gematria, their names calculate to 2283. And in that same method, the moon equals 283. So a clear tribute to time here. In fact, we talked about the 47th prime number. Time alone equals 47 using the alphabetic order. So this is the 15th day of the year. The 15th letter of the alphabet is the circle, which is the mark of the beast. You have the devil on the 15th tarot card. And I say that the circle is the mark of the beast for a number of reasons. Feel free to pause it and check out this slide that explains it. And the Turpins, this is a story about the Turpins being discovered. And that sums to 150 English ordinal, again, the 15th day of the year. And what's so wild is that their children who were found captive, they were found between the ages of 2 and 29 years old. Again, if you follow my work, you know that this is a big time number. We just had Logan Paul, that YouTube star who posted a video of a dead kid who hung himself. That was at the age of 22 years and 9 months exactly. Well, the 229th verse of Revelation is 13:18, which reveals the number of the beast as 666. So many of these news stories just center around satanic numerology from the Bible. It's really ridiculous, especially once you see what's going on. Also, the terpins in the Jewish order sums to 143. That's the Hebrew value of the word circle. Revelation in the Kabbalah sums to 143. And here's a story about homeschooling. Back to the alphabetic order, homeschooling equals 143. If you're wondering about Jewish gematria, here's a look at those charts. We typically only use Jewish, but Jewish ordinal, as I've found, as I believe to be very significant as well, it's a method that you won't find too many other people talking about. It's just something I'll touch on when the gematria adds more to the riddle, as it so often does. The terpins also equals 57 reverse reduction. That's the gematria of the word moon, which ranges 57 degrees in the sky. And David Turpin was 57 years old. Meanwhile, his wife was 49, and that's the reduction value of Revelation. So it's not always the same number over and over and over, but there's just this series of numbers that's really important. And it seems like eventually they plug them all in. And two more important numbers here. Sandcastle Day School, using the alphabetic order, sums to 200. And in the reverse method, it sums to 313. Well, 200 is another number that's locked into this beast riddle. I mean, think about the number 200, right? You have two sets of double zeros. That's what you find inside the number 88. Beast equals 88 in the reverse method. And when you write out circle, 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 it equals 200 using the alphabetic order. And you can write out 4 circles and get double gematria of 200. So definitely significant. And Sandcastle Day School sums to 200. Also, 603 score and 6, how the number of the beast is phrased in the book of Revelation. In the King James Version, that's 313. That's the 65th prime number, and in reduction, Sandcastle Day School equals 65. You can see relevant gematria across all these methods. 106, that's the number of prophecy as well. Won't touch too much on that. This school opened up on the date March 21st, written 3/21. The word circle, using triangular numbers, sums to 321. And finally, the bond was set at $9 million, and that's another number that is related to 666. If you add 6 plus 6 plus 6, it's 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9, right? And if you think that's just a little tiny coincidence, consider that the headline in Jewish gematria, 13 people held captive in California home, police say. When you add this 13 as a number to the equation, it sums to 2127. That's the same as 666 using the English extended method, 2127. So don't buy into the hype. You know, don't start looking at people who homeschool their kids and think of these two. You know, these are probably just paid actors. I mean, this guy looks high, like he got roasted before the shoot or something. You know, I mean, this isn't reality. This is fantasy. Trying to shift the culture away from parents teaching their own children. So please don't be fooled. Just more mainstream propaganda pushing its agenda onto the masses by the numbers. Thanks for watching.